Ladies and gentlemen, bids getting rejected, lots of players moving out. There's a whole heap of conversations that's going on with all the latest news on Chelsea transfer news. So let's get on with this, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight stuck into this because there's heaps to talk about. Let me just share this before we get started. So first up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Wesley Fofana, bids getting rejected left, right and centre. Chelsea have had a third offer for Wesley Fofana rejected. Chelsea are unwilling to go beyond 70 million, including add-ons. So now up to Leicester to decide if they'll compromise or not. This is from the Orni, so you better believe Chelsea still feels there's a chance to push and insist for Fofana as he wants to move. We all know he wants to move. My question is, what is going on with the 70 million bid? I thought the 70 million bid had already happened. We've gone with the 60, we've gone with the 70. That was what was reported not that long ago. So why the 70 million again? And apparently the scenario now is 60 million plus 10 million in add-ons and bonuses. Leicester's not going to accept that. This is one of Leicester's main player. This is one of their biggest assets. We've got to bend over backwards. We've already said we have to pay overs. Some reporters out there stating that it's got to be a world record fee for a defender. Either we pay or we don't. Let's not dilly-dally around with this. This is embarrassing now. We're running out of time. Chelsea's latest offer for Fofana was 60 million plus 10 million in bonuses and add-ons. It's just not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. And as I said, I thought we already tried the 70 million approach. It's got to be 80 million. Look, me personally, I wouldn't even pay the 80 million. For me, it doesn't make sense bringing in Wesley Fofana and letting go of someone like Chalobah on loan to Inter Milan. And you know he's going to boss it probably over there. Is Wesley Fofana a better defender than Chalobah? Probably. But is he 80 million pounds better? Probably not. But it's not my money. And Thomas Tuchel badly wants this player, then go and break the bank. This is what you're going to have to do. Leicester's not going to, now just fall over and just accept whatever we ask them. We're basically hoping that Fofana pushes hard and Leicester commits to this scenario. But they've got 5 years on this brother's contract. They've got no reason to be pushed over. Chelsea are considering whether to make an improved offer for Fofana after having 50, 60 and 70 million bids turned down. I didn't know there was a 50 million bid. So that's probably why 50, 60, 70. So now you're coming to that 80. Leicester's already said it's 80. You've wasted time for these 50, 60 and 70. Eventually you're going to come to 80 and you're going to get the job done. So for me, stop wasting time because we need attackers and we possibly need a midfielder as well. Not possibly, we definitely need it, but we're not linked with anyone. Leicester could be persuaded to sell if Chelsea pay over 80 million. Look, the fourth bid has to be 80. And if we're not willing to do that, forget about this. Chelsea could return with a fourth bid for Fofana before Saturday. This is from Fabrizio Romano. So hopefully this will be the end of it because we do play Leicester and apparently Fofana is not included in the Carabao Cup match today that Leicester's playing. Look, let's not make him force to play us. Let's get it done and let's move on. I've already said my piece in regards to this being a ridiculous amount of money. The wages is ridiculous as well, but it is what it is. We move. Anthony Gordon, here's another ridiculous. Everything we're doing now is overs. We are paying overs. They're good players, don't get me wrong. They're good players, but everything is overs. We are setting a precedent which is probably not good for football transfer market. Anthony Gordon is a priority target for Thomas Tuchel. As it stands, no deal is imminent and there remains a chance it doesn't happen before deadline. From Orni, there is further reluctance on Everton's side that selling Gordon would leave them with little time to find replacement. This is what I'm saying. We are running out of time and so is Everton because once again, Anthony Gordon is a very important player for Everton. We've got to leave enough time for these teams to go and find replacement. Now, there's a twist with this particular story because Everton wants some of our players. There you go. Everton have asked Chelsea to include either Armando Broja or Conor Gallagher on loan as part of the deal to sign Anthony Gordon. Now, look, Simon Phillips goes on to say the Broja part is correct, by the way, reported in an article today. So we already knew that Frank Lampard fan most certainly what's going to happen is it's going to force Armando Broja out. So there's talks about Aubameyang coming through, which then means Broja will probably get moved out, because with Havertz there, Aubameyang there, you'd probably think we need another player to back up, but possibly it won't be the case, because at times Sterling plays as a false nine. So Armando Broja is probably going to be pushed out. I don't want it. I don't like it, but there could be a shot. But my thing is, if Anthony Gordon is worth 60 million, Armando Broja, I'm not even kidding. If Gordon is worth 60 million, Armando Broja is worth at least 70, 80, because Broja has actually banged in goals for Southampton. You let me know if I'm being mad. I'm just being realistic in terms of what the price for Gordon is, which is insane. So in accordance to that, Broja should be more, in my opinion. But apparently they're looking for loans. Some people said that they can't do any more loans, apparently, Everton, because they've done quite a few loans already. I don't know whether that's correct or not. Conor Gallagher, look, he needs to stay at Chelsea Football Club with all the injuries that we have in midfield. But I've always said it, Conor Gallagher, in terms of ball playing ability, this isn't West Brom, this isn't Crystal Palace. You're going to have to improve. I've said this many a times on this channel. I know I wanted him in the match against Leeds. That's because of all the injuries, and I didn't want Ruben Loftus-Cheek to be shifted from right wing back. But Conor Gallagher has to improve his ball playing ability and also ball retention as well. You're going to get pressed, because there are certain clubs out there that will go at Chelsea, and you cannot be rattled. So look, we'll see what happens. As I said, Thomas Tuchel seems to fancy Anthony Gordon. I like Anthony Gordon, but that price tag is mad. Chelsea have discussed. On top of that, the other thing that I want to showcase to you guys, I want to quickly show, because this is what I tweeted out not that long ago. There's talks. Have a look at this. Arsenal transfer priority is Pedro Neto. Discussions for over a month to George Mendes. Mendes to Wolves, don't plan to sell 22-year-old winger yet. Plus, bottom line, apparently he's worth about 50 million. Now you tell me, Pedro Neto for 50 million or Anthony Gordon for 60 million? It just doesn't make sense to me. For me, Neto is a far superior player. Yes, there's injury concerns and whatnot, but this guy's skill set is unbelievable. You remember the goal they scored against us, was the last season or the season before? I think it might have been under Frank Lampard, or maybe it was Thomas Tuchel. Might have been last season, where Pedro Neto scored a really, really good goal. I think it was last season. Anyway, but once again, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, Neto or Gordon, what makes sense to you? 50 million, 60 million? I know we're not linked with Neto, but the question is, why aren't we linked with Neto when we're spending 60 million on Gordon? Chelsea have discussed Wilfred Zaha, but Crystal Palace unlikely to sanction a sale this close to the deadline. Once again, leaving too late. Crystal Palace. We're going for good players, but these players are important players for their clubs. Everton are currently discussing the merits of Chelsea's 50 million to plus 10 million proposal for Gordon. Someone said to me, apparently this is about to get rejected. They don't like the 50 plus 10. They want even more, or maybe 60 in cash. Everton's moving mad, if I'm being honest. Chelsea are negotiating for Aubameyang to come in now before Leao and Nkunku come onto the market next summer. See, this is why the Leao situation, maybe next summer, these transfers of Leao and Nkunku, these are big players, man. They don't happen in the last few days of the transfer window. And similarly with Zaha, Crystal Palace, we're not leaving enough time for them to do this. If we wanted him, I don't know what we've been waiting for all this time. Like, it's been maybe a couple of weeks, or tad over a couple of weeks since we signed Cucurella. So what's been going on? Like, we should have already talked and been well advanced for Zaha, so we give Crystal Palace enough time to find a replacement. Right now, I don't know. As I reported on my site last week, Chelsea made an inquiry for Wilfred Zaha as an option. Nothing advanced yet, but want to keep an eye on. We're running out of time. Wilfred Zaha has also been discussed as a possible target for Chelsea, although Palace would seem unlikely to sanction a sale. This is close to the transfer deadline, given his importance to the squad. Absolutely understood. Some good news, ladies and gentlemen. Mateo Kovacic is with Chelsea team at the open training session. We need this brother back, man. We lack that drive from midfield. This guy's going to give us that. We need someone who's press resistant from midfield. This guy's going to give us that. And his passing ability as well. He's one that looks for progressive passes. I need him back, but I don't want him rushed because I don't want another injury. Come back when you're fully fit. No need to rush. No sign of Hudson-Odoi as well. These are both from Adam Newson. So we're going to talk about some outgoings now, ladies and gentlemen. From my article on August 16th, Telegraph now confirming Leverkusen interest, something definitely moving here now for Callum. So Leverkusen, I don't mind. Bundesliga is a perfect place for Callum Hudson-Odoi. But Leverkusen are interested in a deal for Callum Hudson-Odoi to join them on a season-long loan. Callum Hudson-Odoi at this point is not even featuring any matches. He's not even in training ground. This brother has gone missing for Chelsea Football Club. Let's sell him. Let's sell him. There's no future for him at Chelsea. Let's get him either on a loan or a complete sell. For me, a loan. Let's see how he does in Bundesliga. By Leverkusen, what a destination. I love it. But if it's a sale, so be it, because I don't know whether we have a future for him. Look at this. Ajax getting ready for Ziyech's return, ladies and gentlemen. This was a TikTok video from particular Ajax follower. But look at this. Sports Zoo. That's a Ziyech jersey, 22. And it's been displayed in, I believe, somewhere in Amsterdam or close to Ajax. So they're getting excited. They're getting excited that this is going to happen. This situation for Hakim Ziyech. I just want to see this again. There we go. Ziyech. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening, isn't it? Ziyech 22. Ziyech 22. Well, there's another player gone. So we're talking about Callum Hudson-Odoi. We're talking about Ziyech. And here's another one. According to Sky Sports Italia, Spezia are close to reaching an agreement with Chelsea over a loan deal for Ethan Ampadu with an option to buy. I don't get what's another loan for Ethan Ampadu going to do. I've said it earlier when the transfer window started. It's either we play Ethan Ampadu or we sell it. Another loan, he's proven his point. No need to prove anymore. I don't get how we are not looking to utilize him. It's mad. It is mad. We are in need of a DM, and this guy can actually give us that option. And also, he's an option in defense as well. This is why that whole situation of spending all that money on Wesley Fofana, when you've got players like Ethan Ampadu, when you've got players like Chalobah, how much more better is Wesley Fofana than these? Like, is he, as I keep saying, 80 million better? At the end of the day, you can utilize these players, and perhaps these players will increase in value. And they're versatile. They can play in other positions as well. Same with Chalobah, can play in a DM position. Ethan Ampadu can play in a DM position. But we don't fancy them. We don't fancy them. And that's an issue. Finally, this is the last outgoing. We've already mentioned this in previous video, but it is official now. Official confirmed. Emerson Palmieri joins West Ham on permanent deal from Chelsea after medical done on Monday. 13 million plus 2 million add-ons agreed. So that's 15. Good stuff, to be honest. Contract June 2026. Emerson will most likely start for West Ham, and I hope he goes on and does well. I just want to say to all the fans earlier this year in January, when they were saying, when there was rumors that we want Emerson back, and people are like, oh yeah, Thomas Tuchel rates this player. Thomas Tuchel, really? June 2022, you said Thomas Tuchel rates Emerson. August 2022, Emerson is now signed for West Ham. Bottom line, Thomas Tuchel never rated him, and it was evident because we were starting Alonso ahead of him. Look, hope he has a good time at West Ham. That's another outgoing, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a lot of outgoings. Emerson gone, Lukaku gone, Timo Werner gone, Malang Sarr gone, possibly Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech on the way as well. Lots of players moving on. We needed that to happen. I would like Christian Pulisic to move on, but maybe that's not going to happen. With all the toxicity that's going on, there's been some sort of issue again in social media. I've got no problems with whatever Pulisic is putting up on Instagram. Apparently, post that Leeds match, he was hanging out with some of his, countrymen from Leeds. I've got no issues with that. That's absolutely fine. I don't know why some of the fans in our fan base are having an issue with that scenario. But the bottom line, I think there was too much sour taste in regards to what his dad has been up to in social media. So, look, for me, I would like him gone. And we need players in. And we are targeting players that are very important players for other clubs. So we've got to move quick. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know how you feel about everything we've gone and talked about today. Let me just have a quick look that there's nothing else that's brewing right now, because I don't want to miss out on anything that's just landed at the moment. Yeah, nothing at the moment that's come through. There's some information about Frankie de Jong and this, that. I don't want to talk about Frankie de Jong. I don't think this guy's going to stay at Barcelona. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, see ya.